Hello, I'm Ryan Liberty, and in this video I'm going to answer the question, what is separation anxiety disorder? Let's figure it out. Alright, here we are. We're going to discuss what is separation anxiety disorder, but before I get to that, I first have to say a few things. So this is just a quick description of what separation anxiety disorder is. It is not the diagnostic criteria, and it is not meant to be used to diagnose yourself or somebody else. That should be done by a trained professional. And I also want to say that this label of separation anxiety disorder, if in any way that feels like too much to take on, if it feels stressful to use that label, if it doesn't serve you in any way, then just let the label go. This is really meant to just point you in the direction into a set of patterns that may be occurring in your life or the life of someone you loved. So the label's not necessary. But let's get into what separation anxiety disorder is. I've got my notes, as always, to help me explain it to you and make sure I'm giving you accurate information. So here we go. It is a developmentally inappropriate and excessive fear about separation from an attachment figure, usually a parent or an adult figure that they feel close to. So this happens in children, but it also can happen in adulthood with a significant other or somebody else. It could still be your parent. It could be anybody that you feel very close to, very intimately close with. What happens with separation anxiety disorder is that there is a lot of stress around feeling like you're going to be separated from this person. And sometimes we do things like worry about what if they get sick, what if something happens to them, they get injured, what if a natural disaster happens and they die or something. All of these things can freak us out and make us feel stressed that we're going to lose them in some way or be separated from them. Because of this, we may feel a reluctance to go out or to leave the home if they're always at home with us. Or alternatively, we may feel like we get a lot of stress when we are alone and they leave us. There's sometimes, especially with children, the refusal to sleep without the person near us or next to us. So if they're not in the home, if they're away, we won't go to bed, we won't go to sleep. We need to have them next to us. There's nightmares about separation. When you're dreaming, you have these nightmares about that person, not being able to get to that person, not being able to unite with them, that kind of a thing. There are physical symptoms that you're experiencing whenever you anticipate that they're going to be leaving or you feel like you're going to get separated from them. You have physical symptoms, which we'll discuss below, or more further in this video below on my page. And it's something that has to have been going on for at least 4 weeks with children and adolescents. And in the case of adulthood, it has to have been going on for at least 6 months. So it's something that impairs us in our day-to-day life because without this person around, without them constantly near us, we can't function in day-to-day life. And it's not something that's better explained by another mental disorder. So, for example, agoraphobia, typically they have somebody that they feel more comfortable going out in public with, but they're okay with being alone. That's not a problem with them. So that's not separation anxiety disorder. Or generalized anxiety, there's just a general feeling of anxiety that things may happen to loved ones. That's also not separation anxiety. This revolves around that fear that somebody important, you're going to be separated from them. So what does it feel like to have this? Well, in the body, we get all the typical symptoms of anxiety, which is what I mentioned before, the physical symptoms. So you get headaches, nausea, dizziness, heart palpitations, hot and cold flashes, tingling in the fingers and toes. And I have a whole video about anxiety if you want to check that out to learn more about the physical symptoms. In our heads, we are worrying that something is going to happen to this particular person in our lives. We have fears that they're going to separate from us. We're constantly worrying about it. And because of this, we have trouble concentrating very often. Emotionally, again, there's a lot of fear. Sometimes we feel apathy. We don't feel emotion because we kind of shut down in response to this fear of separating from somebody. We can feel a lot of sadness when they're not around. We can get homesick when we're apart from them. And we can also feel anger towards the people who we feel like are forcing us to be separate. So it shows up, the emotional side of this shows up in a lot of different ways. And behaviorally, there's typically a clinging or a shadowing behavior, they call it, where you're always trying to stick by that person or be around that person constantly throughout the day. You may feel that you refuse to leave home or you refuse to be alone. As I mentioned earlier, you don't want to sleep without somebody around. You may avoid traveling alone as an adult because you feel insecure without that person next to you, traveling with you. You can have those nightmares that I mentioned, and other people may perceive your behavior as very demanding or intrusive because that's not the typical behavior of people in society to always need to be around somebody. So other people, when they see that, they see you as demanding or a little bit intrusive. It's not that you are, it's just that that's what people are seeing. So that's just a quick little explanation of what separation anxiety disorder is. If you have any experience with this, if you have any questions or comments, please add them below. I'd love to hear from you. But I appreciate you wanting to learn more about it, and I thank you for joining me here in this video. Hey, it's Ryan Liberty. If you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and leave any questions or comments below because that would really help me out. If you find that you're stressed trying to achieve your goals, I have a free tool for you today that will help you get your goals done, so click to get that. And if you'd like to see the rest of my videos, click subscribe. As always, I want to remind you that your life matters. Nobody can question your worth. However it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through, it's okay, and you are loved. Thanks again for watching.